You are living inside a meticulously engineered financial hallucination where the banking cartel has successfully inverted the laws of logic to convince you that spending money is a form of earning money, a cognitive glitch known as the cashback paradox, where you view a transaction not as a depletion of resources but as a generation of revenue. You must understand that banks are not charities and they do not give away billions of dollars in rewards out of the goodness of their hearts. They do it because the data proves unequivocally that a consumer chasing rewards spends anywhere from 30 to 100% more than a consumer paying with cold hard cash. The mechanism of cashback is actually a sophisticated money laundering operation for interchange fees, where the bank charges the merchant a fee of 2 to 4% for every swipe of your premium card, forcing the merchant to raise the retail price of all goods to cover this tax, meaning that you are effectively overpaying for everything you buy just to receive a 1% rebate on your own inflated spending. You are not beating the system. You are subsidizing the system's infrastructure, while the poor, who pay in cash and get no rewards, are subsidizing your delusions of grandeur. The psychological weapon at play here is gamification, where the bank turns your financial life into a role-playing game with points, tiers, and levels, hijacking your primate desire for status and accumulation to make you perform tricks like a circus bear. You catch yourself justifying an unnecessary purchase by saying, "I'm doing it for the points," which is the logic of a lunatic who burns down his own house to collect the insurance money, failing to realize that the premium, the purchase price, is always higher than the payout, the cashback. The category trap is designed to distort your spending patterns by offering higher rewards on specific sectors like dining or travel, effectively bribing you to alter your lifestyle to match the bank's preferred high-margin profile. They want you to eat out more because they make more on the interchange fees of a restaurant bill than they do on your grocery bill. You are suffering from purchase justification bias, where the promise of a 1% return acts as a lubricant that reduces the friction of the buying decision, silencing the voice of your internal auditor that screams, "We don't need this," and replacing it with the soothing whisper of the marketer saying, "It's practically a discount." The bank knows that the pain of paying is significantly reduced when you believe you are getting something back, turning the negative reinforcement of loss into the positive reinforcement of a reward, which creates a Pavlovian loop where you begin to crave the act of swiping the card just to see the balance of your cashback account go up, ignoring the fact that your net worth is going down at a rate 50 times faster. They have introduced minimum spend requirements and sign-up bonuses to force you to front-load your consumption, making you spend $3,000 in 3 months on things you didn't need just to unlock a $500 bonus, effectively turning you into an employee of the bank who is paid a commission to liquidate his own savings. The breakage in the reward system is also calculated. They know that a significant percentage of points will never be redeemed, or will be redeemed for low-value gift cards instead of cash, or will expire, meaning they are paying you in a currency that they control, can devalue at any moment, and can revoke if you violate their terms. You are trading your sovereign currency, cash/liquidity, for their fiat currency, points/miles, exchanging a universal store of value for a limited-use token that locks you into their ecosystem. The illusion is so complete that you feel smart for using the card, looking down on cash users as unsophisticated, when in reality, the cash user is the only one who feels the true weight of the transaction and stops spending when the pain becomes real. The sovereign architect rejects the gamification of his resources. He views cashback as bait. You do not eat the cheese because you know the trap is designed to snap your neck. You do not spend to earn. You spend to acquire assets. If the asset is not critical, no amount of 1.5% back makes the purchase viable. You must excise the word points from your vocabulary and replace it with kickback. You are not an earner. You are a victim of a very polite robbery where they give you back a penny after taking $1. The second phase of the cashback conspiracy is the realization that the few pennies they throw at you are merely the bribe you accept for allowing them to install a surveillance device in your pocket that records the GPS coordinates, timestamp, and psychological context of every single decision you make in the physical world. You must understand that in the hierarchy of banking revenue, interest is the old money, but data monetization is the new oil, and your credit card statement is not a financial record but a psychographic biography that tells the bank exactly who you are, what you fear, what you desire, and when you are most vulnerable to manipulation. When you swipe your card to earn that 1% back, you are effectively selling the privacy of your existence for a discount that is mathematically negligible, allowing the bank to aggregate your spending habits with millions of others to build predictive models that are sold to hedge funds, insurance companies, and and advertisers who use this intelligence to bet against your future. They know you are getting divorced before you do because they see the therapy bills and the hotel bookings. They know you are sick before you see a doctor because they track the pharmacy charges and the dietary shifts. They know you are depressed because they see the spike in late-night fast food and digital entertainment consumption. This transaction data is the most honest signal in the economy because unlike your social media posts where you curate a fake life, your bank statement reveals the brutal truth of your actual life, and they sell this truth to the highest bidder who then targets you with ads designed to exploit the very vulnerabilities that your spending reveal. You are living in a glass house where the walls are made of transaction logs, and the cashback is simply the curtain they let you rent to pretend you are hidden. The merchant offers and personalized deals they push to your app are not gifts. They are evidence that they have successfully categorized you into a demographic bucket: impulsive spender, new parent, health nut, and are now auctioning access to your attention to brands that want to extract value from that specific bucket. By participating in this system, you are training the artificial intelligence that will eventually replace your autonomy, feeding it the raw data it needs to understand human behavior better than humans understand themselves. The rewards program is a Trojan horse that bypasses your natural defense against surveillance because you voluntarily opt into the tracking in exchange for points, signing away your right to anonymity for a free flight that you will probably never take. The asymmetry of the trade is staggering. They extract thousands of dollars of value from your data profile over a lifetime, selling it over and over again to different brokers, while giving you back a few $100s in cashback that barely covers the inflation rate. You are trading a diamond, your privacy, for a handful of gravel points. The sovereign architect recognizes that financial privacy is a strategic asset that must be guarded with the same ferocity as the capital itself, because if the enemy knows how you spend, they know how to break you. To use a card for everything is to broadcast your location and your intent to the global control grid. Cash leaves no data. Cash creates no profile. Cash tells no stories. The cashback is the fee they pay to keep you plugged into the matrix of observation. Do not sell your soul for 1%. The price is too low. The final phase of the cashback hallucination is the understanding that you are trapped in a systemic inflationary spiral where the rewards program acts as a biological weapon that destroys the purchasing power of the entire economy by forcing an artificial price hike on every single good and service to subsidize the addiction of the credit class. You must realize that when a merchant accepts a premium rewards card, they are forced to pay an interchange fee of up to 4% to the banking cartel, a cost of doing business that they immediately pass on to the consumer by raising the retail price of the product, meaning that the $100 pair of shoes now cost $104 for everyone, regardless of how they pay. This creates a reverse Robin Hood effect, where the poor and the unbanked who pay with cash or debit are subsidizing the luxury travel and cash rebates of the wealthy who pay with platinum cards, effectively transferring wealth from the bottom of the pyramid to the top through the mechanism of invisible taxation. You are not winning when you get 2% back. You are merely clawing back half of the 4% inflation that your own participation in the system helped create, running on a treadmill where you have to spend faster and faster just to stay in the same place while the bank collects the difference. The system has engineered a prisoner's dilemma where you are punished for opting out because if you pay cash, you pay the inflated price without the rebate, forcing you to use the card just to mitigate the damage, which locks you deeper into the surveillance grid and the spending loops that the bank designed. This is the golden handcuffs of the financial world where the fear of leaving money on the table keeps you chained to a system that is actively devaluing your labor, blinding you to the fact that the only winning move is to destroy the fee structure entirely. The sovereign architect counters this by weaponizing the cash discount, bypassing the banking interface entirely by looking the merchant in the eye and offering physical currency in exchange for the removal of the processing fee, thereby securing an immediate and guaranteed cashback of 3 to 5% that is tax-free, untraceable, and mutually beneficial to both the buyer and the seller, who keeps the full margin. You must stop viewing the credit card as a status symbol or a passive income generator and start viewing it as a high-velocity debt instrument that should only be deployed for strategic capital expenditures, where the liability protection is mandatory, never for the daily consumption that feeds the data beast. The ultimate act of rebellion is to starve the intermediary, to deny the bank the percentage of your life they claim as their due, and to return to the raw physics of peer-to-peer value exchange, where a dollar is a dollar and not a data point in a hedge fund's algorithm. You are not a points farmer, you are an empire builder, and empires are built on gold, not on miles that can be devalued by a terms of service update. Step off the treadmill, break the loop, pay the price of reality, or pay the price of the illusion. The choice is yours.